Hey guys, so I'd been wanting to make this video for a while. I figured I would share my story. I was a senior in high school, so this is about 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. I had made this friend in my English class. He started out really awesome and funny, we hung out. He was cool for about 2 months. And then all hell broke loose. He started acting weird. He was aggressive, spastic, and angry. We started noticing this. We're like, dude, what's your problem? And my other best friend did not like him because he liked her little sister. And her little sister is a lot younger than him. And she didn't like him being around her. He didn't like her. One day, this had built up. I knew they didn't like each other, but I didn't know about them kind of fighting in the mornings. Senior year was the year that they got the iPads. I get a message during first block. It was threatening all my friends if she didn't go talk to him. It was extremely threatening. So I messaged everybody and let them know what happened. I wanted to meet with my other friend alone and negotiate. I don't know, but I was not letting him alone with her. Not for a fucking second. And I told her that too. I'm like, no, we're going straight to the office and we're showing them these messages. You are not going to go talk to him or anything. A little while later, he sends me another one. And this time, he excluded me. Same message, but saying my friend didn't meet with him, a war would break out, except I would be safe. Like, all of a sudden, he thought about it and changed his mind. I was like, that's fucking weird. But anyways, so I just ignored it. We went to the office, we reported him, and we showed them the messages and everything. Later that day, another message from him. Oh, how dare you, blah, blah, the office or whatever, and this and that. He has no respect for authorities, and he's like, they can't do anything to me. The fuck? Like, that's scary. It's really scary. Well, he ended up getting his iPad taken for that weekend, so he didn't give me any more harassment, and then later, he was one of those people that, kind of stuck with you, so no matter what, we try to, not be his friend, he'd always be there. So just to get him to shut up, we would just be like, you know what, whatever, fine. You can sit here and really interact with him that much. And throughout the year, it was on and off like that. Like, he'd be okay for a little bit, but he'd be really spazzy and aggressive. That's how a few months went, like that. Like, he was not my friend, but he was there all the time. And, when he started threatening us again, we would report him to the office, but guess what? They said because we didn't leave him alone, which isn't true. We tried to leave him alone. We tried to ignore him and not talk to him, but he was up in our face. He was in a couple of my classes. He was one of those people that isn't ignored. The only time we really talked to him is if he was, in our face, being annoying and talking to us. We're like, okay, yeah, okay. That's how we talked to him. One-worded answers. Apparently, we didn't leave him alone or stay away from him. It was our fault that he was like that towards us. The office might as well had said, fuck you. Because they became useless after that and didn't want to help us. And they were using the excuse that he has some mental issue. Okay, first of all, I know it might have been a confidentiality thing, but nobody ever said what he had. He has never said that he had mental issues. To me, that was weird. And I could tell by his actions and how he talked and everything, he did everything very intentionally. He was intelligent. You know what I mean? He wasn't dumb. He didn't have, Down syndrome or anything like that. He didn't. We just stopped going to the office. My friend that he didn't like started getting scared because of how he would threaten us and said that he carried a knife. She was worried after a while that he was going to come up and stab her. And the vibe he gave to everybody else, he would be aggressive and threaten. But he never threatened me. He always left me out of it. Even if it was my friends, and he would use me as a messenger, he never, other than that first time and he changed his mind, he never threatened me. And he always wanted to, talk to me and be around me. You know what I mean? He was, really friendly towards me. But a creep to everybody else. And if I said something, if I had got in his face, he would apologize. I was the only person he's ever apologized to. I don't remember what made me snap, but eventually I was done. And I said, leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you ever again. I had some class with him. I tried to, avoid him. That had been successful for about a week until my classmate told me, man, you and so-and-so, call him Freddie. I feel that's an appropriate name. Wow, you and Freddie have gotten really close. And I'm like, I am not Freddie's friend no more. And he's like, really? Because you guys have been hanging out like all week. No, I've not talked to him at all. I haven't been around him. He goes, are you not aware that he walks with you in the hallways and eats at lunch with you? I said, what are you talking about? He had been following me to my classes, like trailing right behind me, and I hadn't noticed him. Like, I took a couple pictures at lunch one morning, like, oh, selfie, and he was in the background. I got really freaked out once I realized that, and my anxiety went up, and I was scared, and I didn't know what to do, because I was freaked out, because I was completely unaware that he had been following me around. That's a scary thing to suddenly realize. So I ended up having, like, friends walk with me to class, and one day I had Day and another friend walked to class with me, and he got pissed. I think he realized that I was onto him, and he runs up to us and he goes, what, you need bodyguards now? And he runs away. Oh my god, I was so scared. Like, I wanted to start crying. It was like, why are you doing this? All I said was, leave me alone. Why are you harassing me? There's something about him that was so soulless, almost. He's that person that gives you the vibe that he would be like a school shooter. That's the kind of person he was. I stayed with my friends, and that made him very angry because he couldn't get near me. One day, I thought he wasn't in school. I left my friends in the classroom. It was just right there, like right down the hall, wasn't that far. I was walking, and all of a sudden, I don't remember what he said, but he said something. I tried to ignore him, like I didn't hear him. I sped up, and he ran up behind me, like he charged at me. So I ran into the pod real quick. He ran by, like he wasn't doing anything, like he was just trying to rush past me. And that actually caused a panic attack, like, because I have anxiety. Like, my friend was right there. She saw him run by. Because he didn't stop, but he was looking at me. I just couldn't breathe. I couldn't do anything. Panic attack started, and my chest was tight, and I was so scared. My friend ended up going to go tell the office what he'd been doing. So they said, okay, well, we'll send somebody to go follow him to his classes. They told me that he wasn't following me. That they followed him to his classes, and he was going to where he was supposed to go. They told him that they were going to be following him. Yeah. Really, school? Really? Really? That's what I had to do for a while, was just have my friends with me, because no one in the school was going to help me. I had to protect myself. For whatever reason, my one friend decided to date him, so it made things complicated for a while. Like, because then I couldn't hang out with my friends because she was with him. Don't ask me why she would date him. I don't know why. I don't think she even knows why. This friend was very close to me, and honestly, I think that's why he was dating her, was because she's one of my best friends. So, date the best friend, you can be close to her. I was having a really bad day, and I needed to hang out with her. She was at the mall with him. She told me, she's like, well, I'm with him right now. I know you don't want to be around Freddie. I told her, you know what, fuck it. Because I just needed my friend. I went there, and it was a public place. It wasn't like I was at anyone's house. I wouldn't have gone then. What ended up happening was, he was like talking to me and being all nice and polite to me, but then started being a dick to my friend. It was weird, because we went into a store, and my friend asked him if he would get her something, and he was like, no, very aggressively to her. Turns around, like in the same breath, turns around and goes, is there anything in the store? I'll get you whatever you want. What the fuck? The look my friend gave him was bad. It's really bad. And that's why I say, like, pretty positive he only dated her to get to me. I don't like saying that. I feel bad, but it's true. Left after that because it was really awkward. I don't remember what happened after that. I think she either broke up with him that day, or it was like later that week. He'd be nice to her when I wasn't around, but then he'd be a dick when I was around, try to be nice to me. That's how I kind of just lived my life at school for a while. I was trying to avoid him and as much as I could. Prom comes around. That same friend that had dated him was his prom date. I'm not going to get into why she did that. but me and my boyfriend, her and him, went to prom together. I know. And this is when shit had got intense. We get to prom before that, like when we went out to eat and stuff and took pictures, he was being weird. We get to prom, pretty much ditched my friend, which pissed her off and everybody else, because that's rude. I seen him in the hallways just doing his own thing. I was like, whatever, if he's doing his own thing, if he's happy and everyone else is happy, that's fine. He got mad because we said we wanted to change after prom, to go to after prom, because we didn't want to wear our stuff after prom. And he got mad about it, took off. Me and the friend that he didn't like ended up running to his mom in the bathroom because she worked for the school, and we told her that we were going to get a different ride because he's having a little bit of a freak out. And she understood because she knew how he could be a little much, and she's like, that's fine. We left the bathroom. It was me and the one friend, not his prom date, but me and the friend that he didn't like, are standing out there. He walks up to me, just stares at me, then he goes like this. What? He was mad dogging me, and I just looked at him like, huh? I didn't know what he was trying to do. And then he starts yelling at me, and he's like, if you want to go change after prom, you're going to have to find a different ride. I said, okay, already did. He goes, well, good. I'm trying not to laugh. It was just ridiculous. So I'm trying not to laugh, and then he directs his attention at my friend. I don't remember what he said, but he calls her right when her boyfriend came around the corner. I ain't never seen somebody run so fast in their entire life. He was gone, and her boyfriend was chasing him down the hallway. By the way, there was a cop not even 10 feet, and he didn't do anything when this kid came up and was harassing us. And still didn't do nothing when her boyfriend chased him, but I think he might have heard what happened, so he didn't really care. Just kept on with us, kept bullying us, kept just making little comments and walking up to us, just being a pest and ruining prom. At one point, I seen him, he started to charge his prom date, which she was pissed at him, and he was directing all this anger at her for no reason either. She didn't do anything, and he was being rude to her the whole time. And he looked like he was coming up to charge her. I was standing way back. I ran up, I was about to knock his ass to the floor, because I thought he was gonna hit her. He saw me and he went running. He seemed like he was scared of me, but yet he did all this stuff with me. I don't know why. We were all done with his shit by the end of the night, because he made it bad for us. And my friend that took him as a prom date was getting emotional. She was upset and mad and sad because she wanted to have a nice prom, and I wanted to give her a nice prom, and it just didn't work out because of him. So then we're like, you know what, we'll just have fun at after prom. So we go with our friends, we go change, we go to after prom. We're like, we're gonna have a great after prom. No, this is when the night got worse. My sister was already there, and she approached me and she said, hey, you know that Freddy kid that's a creep to you? I'm like, yeah, what about him? She goes, he's following me around. Really? She's like, yeah, because there was this little betting stand that it was just a plaything. She was betting stuff. He would sit there and he'd be like, I'm betting higher than you. I'm betting higher than you. He kept, bothering her. Well, if he doesn't leave you alone, you tell him that he's going to have to deal with it. I don't play that. You want to mess with me? Fine. You want to mess with my friends? Not cool. But if you're going to mess with my family, it's going down. 5 minutes later, not even, she comes back. She goes, yeah, so he told me that he wasn't going to leave me alone until you came and yelled at him. Really? I actually got worried about her because my sister is a tiny person, alright? I was worried that he was going to do something. Her boyfriend, my boyfriend, and then a couple of her friends were basically surrounding her so he wouldn't harass her. And I told my boyfriend, you guard her with your life, because I had to go use the bathroom. I'm in the bathroom. This all happens while I'm in the bathroom. They're standing there, and he's hovering. Someone made a joke we should just shove him out of the way so he'll leave us alone or something like that. It was just a joke. And out of nowhere, he slithered through them. He goes, excuse me, and he pushes my sister over, and she flung forward. She almost hit her head on the